The next thing is these can be used in a ton of different ways. When I know that someone's got a new product coming out, I try to secure an interview with them. I bring them into my studio. I sit down. But shoot, I go to like trade shows. I'll bring one camera, a little portable tripod, set it up, clip on a microphone, interview them right there. It's easy to get anyone to work and do an interview. Once you build a reputation for that, you got people coming out of the woodwork asking you to interview them, and they're going to promote you to their database, okay? So I'm parasitically generating thousands of new opt-ins every month from other people's lists. Not to mention the fact that when this thing gets broadcast, you're going to get attention of the media. They're going to see you and they'll be like, well, this person's clearly knowledgeable. Think about it. What's a reporter do when they want to find an answer to something? They go out and search for an expert. Well, looking at an article or finding something in an article directory versus actually bumping into a video with someone who clearly knows what the hell they're talking about and then gives you an opportunity to get even more, who do you think they're going to call? If you're dominating the organic search engine listings, who do you think they're going to pay attention to? Who's going to get the traffic? I mean, this is just a win-win-win-win-win all the way around the block. And it's my belief that, video is already among anyone who's knows anything that this is the way to market nowadays, but you can clearly demonstrate that your product or service, that it works. You can clearly demonstrate that you know what you're talking about. People can immediately determine whether or not they like you, if they want to do business with you. And your personal brand is the most valuable thing you can ever create. And this is the thing that gives you immense leverage no matter where you go. And again, speaking from experience, I'm just a guy who grew up in a little small town in a lower middle class home. And now I fly around and people stop me in airports and say, I've watched your videos all the time. You've made a huge difference in my life. And, they treat you like they saw you on TV.
I think the expert positioning you get as well, it's almost like you're getting an endorsement from that person that you're interviewing as well. And that rubs off on you and then further positions you as the expert. And it's almost like a snowball. And if you just look at what you've done in the internet marketing niche and come out from, the gate, Traffic Guys is only, a couple of years old now. And you've really positioned yourself now as, one of those guys, one of the big boys who sort of rubs shoulders with the big names. So the effect as well is fantastic, and I think it could work in any niche. Like, we're talking about internet marketing here, but when we talk about the SEO method and applying it and using all of these different steps, if you applied that to any other niche where, because internet marketing is light years ahead, I think probably about the only niches that are ahead of internet marketing would be your gambling and your porn. We're so far in advance. If you took this out to, dentistry, or if you took this out to, a local car shop or something like that, there's so much potential there for pretty much just completely dominating a niche. And I think that's a big reason why I see Traffic Geyser as playing a really big part. So we talked a little bit about doing some interviews and trying to use that 10 by 10 formula like you did for launching Bill's book. When someone else, that was setting up a new website from scratch.
Yeah.
You have lots and lots of different domain names. Is there anything else that you do, or do you purely focus on just using the Traffic Geyser service? Because I know the good thing about Traffic Geyser is it hits multiple things. You're obviously getting your podcasts, your social bookmarking, your blogs, transcription, and then you've got all the video benefits as well. So there's a lot of different media that you're hitting there. Is there any other things that you do for ranking?
Yeah, what I typically do is, first of all, whenever I've got anything going on, I create like a product demonstration, and I optimize for that. I have a strategy I call standing on the shoulders of giants. So if I can associate my name with someone else's name and embed that with the keyword, I'll do that. I'll also do tagging, where I'll share tags with the most popular videos that are on the various sites. But everything I do revolves around, number one, an offer. So without an offer, you got nothing. And what you've got to do is have a list building strategy. So every single time I do anything, it's like, how am I going to generate a list, and who is that audience? What's the message I need to deliver to them? In other words, a message to market match. What's their pain? And then I figure out what product I want to sell to them. So again, the beauty of a system like a 10-10-4 is it's designed to attract the people who you want to sell something to into a list, build credibility, trust, and affinity with, and then build that relationship in such a way that it's automated, and then get them to buy your stuff. So, like if I'm doing an affiliate sale, like for example, I was involved with producing a product with Tony Robbins recently. For that, I created a series of outbound videos, broadcast them out. Again, my name associated with Tony, does great things. Ended up doing an interview with him that was a teleseminar that turned into a bonus. And, so that would be an example. Another time, like with the Bill Glazer, obviously I gave that one away. I did another one with John Carlton, the copywriter. Series of interviews, sent them to my lead page, and then I ended up sending them over to either opt in or buy his product, because when I introduce, me with him, not only do I get the affiliation, but I can promote it as well. But let's get real practical for a moment and just say, let's say you're a local business. You're a chiropractor. Maybe you're an auto dealer. So if I picked an auto dealer, for example, what do you want to do? You want to drive people to make calls and come in and test drive a vehicle. That's the key to selling cars. So your goal is to show your inventory. So we've got a gentleman, I'm trying to think of his name right now. I've got a great testimonial from, but what he started doing is making mini videos of every single car in inventory, and then he would name the video the car name followed by the city he was in and the state he's in. So if it's Nashville, Tennessee, or Sydney, Australia, 1997 Mustang, blah, 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 blah. And I always tell people to try to do two videos, one with the location before the product name and model, and then one after. Basically submit them twice. Now, in the old days, you could take the same video and resubmit them multiple times, but you can't do that anymore without it it causing you some duplicate content problems. So anyway, this guy's got hundreds of cars out there, and when you search for used car and whatever the city name is that he's in, his videos completely dominate the organics. Now, even if that car is gone, I tell people keep them up there. It's an advertisement, it's a billboard, because his whole goal is, hey, that car is gone, but I've got these other ones in here, and you at least get the call. So every one of his videos will have a phone number right on what we call the bottom third, or right on the video, along with a link to or the domain name to go see the inventory of cars. And you also want to make sure that your description has a URL embedded in it as the very first thing. And even though some people say these days that, Google doesn't follow no-follow tags, it's bull. They still do. So when you embed a URL in your descriptive copy, a thing shows up as a link, it does generate backlinks for you. And it's not uncommon for a single video to generate several hundred backlinks within 48 hours.
And we know that's an absolute key factor in getting pages ranked.